Hello, Pump Town and friends. Welcome back to another update. I hope your trading day was just fine. Just bringing your attention to this PM grand finale type setup here. I was mentioning to my private students in the PM session that if after price was to tag buy side liquidity, to study order flow and see if it would want to accelerate a little further, and it did not want to do that. It went the exact opposite way. So just studying the buy side sweep and then the close below the up close candle, and just notice the bodies on the mean threshold of that order block. You can't get a close above. You can't even get a vacuum block above there. So it's 1, 2, 3, 4 taps of the bearish order block, and then finally for the 3:45 p.m. candle, she just sunk right to the discount fair value gap. This is kind of typical in a PM session. I mean, I was mentioning to you guys yesterday that it's going to be rather fickle today, and it was actually decent. It wasn't actually too bad. Tomorrow, I'm expecting maybe a much larger range than today. And then Friday, just a retracement. I don't know if we'll take Thursday's high or not. Like, it's like I was mentioning last night, if my analysis is on side, it just then call it luck. Because that's what it is. Wednesday, Thursday, Friday has the highest probability of doing things that you're not typically used to in the NASDAQ. So beautiful, beautiful setup there. And let's go to the daily chart and check out our daily candles. So yesterday I was mentioning how I would like to see a bottom at the 30% retracement for the day. And guess where we bottomed? Now, we didn't quite reach up into targets, so this was what I was aiming for. That doesn't mean we're going to get it. It just means I got a bullish bias. I want to see bullish candles print and typically catch the dip on that candle. So let's go back into the 15-minute chart. And, you know, the best part, went into the micro. The best part about this is Asia and London basically did nothing, so I was really happy with that. So I woke up nice and early. I actually just happened to wake up to go to the bathroom, and my setup was there. So that was just friggin' sweet. The non-farm employment change economic news event slammed it into liquidity, and the execution, well, so part of the trade was recorded on my Twitter and uploaded there. So you feel free to see that. Just a very, very, again, small trade as far as handles harvested. Very, very small, but very content with enough, and just shut it right down. No need to go ham. So I'm going to go into the 1-minute chart. And that was it right there. So that was my entry on this candle as it was riding back up, vacuum block to the upside, and it kind of petered around for my targets a little bit. I front ran it just a tad on this candle, and then I just quit. So very cool trade, bottom to top of that swing, very nice. And yes, it did give more, and I don't care, not even a little bit. That takes time for you to do. Not care and let price run without you, being content with enough for the day, clocking in a positive P&L for the day. That's your goal. So if you make money, then you stop trading. It's very simple. Hard to do, but very simple. So 2 opportunities today to get long off of our price point. We were looking for a bottom. Now this was hilarious because look, we didn't have to hit that perfectly. That could have been the bottom for the day. It could have been. The 20 to 30% retracement is an average. So although we did end up hitting it, I would have accepted that, and I did in real time. You'll see that's the only execution on my chart. That's 5:30 in the morning for me. You don't have to touch it. It's just an average. So if you see that nice stomp on the longs and then it starts riding up, you'd be like, oh, it's only a few dollars away. It's already seeing sensitivity in the lower time frames. And yeah, that was it there. So then we had another one in between a time that would be favorable for a Judah swing, 10 a.m., running into sell side liquidity and actually hitting that price point and seeing much more sensitivity here than here. So I was already complete for the day, but if you caught that sucker, congratulations. That was a phenomenal move, and it ended up giving up the ghost later on in the PM session for 2 p.m. Traded back down immediately, but still bottom to top, very good handshake. And although again we didn't reach into the previous day's high, we still managed to get into the yesterday's high here, which was good enough. So what to expect from tomorrow? Again, it's guesswork. So if I'm on side for this, just consider me lucky, because tomorrow we could just snap. We could come up within a few bucks of this high here and then just start running back down for this gap. That's totally on the table. Look, I have no clue. Gun to my head though, if you were to catch me in a dark alley and say, hey, where's price going, or I'm going to bust a cap in you, I'd be like, okay, it's going here. So I'd be looking for a dip. Levels to have on your chart. I really like this wick. I really do. So let's have our quadrants on that sucker. Look at that, eh? SR flip in the midway point there. Totally random, by the way. You'll find that in your textbooks and your trading Google search engine. You'll find how to do that. Just kidding. So for tomorrow's bottom, I really can't tell you. I actually really enjoy still the 20 to 30% retracement of that previous day's range. Oddly enough, I like that. So the close of this candle, and I'm looking at the top left there, 21,688 even, and the open is 21,688.25. Well, would you look at that? There's a inefficiency there. There's obviously one here. So our fair value gap in this puppy right here, remember that we were looking for a fair value gap? And we were like, oh, I wonder what would happen if, well, I was looking for this to get taken, but it didn't. Doesn't matter. Oh, well. What would happen if we came down to the previous candle's 30% retracement and found sensitivity and went for the previous day's high? Well, we would leave a fair value gap. And look at what we got. Now, because this got a 1 tick inefficiency there, we got to include it. So we could be using this tomorrow for an absolute gauntlet shot to the upside. That's what I would like to see. In all reality, Bitcoin rips up to an all-time high, and NASDAQ's just kind of poking it. And it's really taunting me, because you'd think like, hey, why aren't you up there yet? You're just pissing around. This inefficiency here is my target for, I don't know, this week, next week, whatever. But I want that. I want that by Friday. That's not out of NASDAQ's reach. I mean, it could do one big solid honkler there today, tomorrow. It could do it next week. It could save it. See, like when you're generating buy side liquidity, it likes to like come down and then railroad up and then just about get to the gap where everybody's stop losses are and then come down again and then go railroad it, and that's where you get your trend. So just sucker people multiple times into shorting. Just like here. See? Bearish engulfing candles, blah, blah, blah. Don't understand trend, high or low, boom. Just like that. Right at that high. You see how it falls shy of the liquidity pool in here? You're just going to have to use your imagination. Smaller time frames. People are using that for resistance as well. Just like Ethereum. Wink, wink. And yeah, they're able to get rocked. So this is where I'm looking for a bottom tomorrow. And I want to see previous day high run out. Here. This could happen in Asia tonight and London. Just so you're aware, it can just start losing control and reach targets even before AM session. So one of the beauties this morning was that, so when I was giving you levels to watch at the beginning of the week, those levels were reached in London. So I wasn't able to really take a nice shot on my favorable trading days. And now on this, not such larger range here and a rather unfavorable trading day for many, it was in my in agreement with me for the AM session, but it just wasn't perfect. And then we didn't end up seeing a big giant shot up here. So yeah, it's climbing now too. Unbelievable. What time is it? 6:30. So Asia starts at 8 p.m. tonight. If we start diving at 8, just if you do whatever you want, I wouldn't trade it. I wouldn't trade Asia with your lips, but study it, because you could end up finding order flow materializing in a very favorable fashion. Just because it's, I don't know, it's non-farm. It could do all sorts of wild stuff. So just like today, if price action's in agreement with me tomorrow, I will execute and likely take a shot. If it's like I am going to be looking for excuses not to trade tomorrow. Okay, I've already traded this week. I've done well. Don't need to go pushing it. I'm really interested to see which one of these Wednesday, Thursday, Fridays is the big banger day. So today's obviously not the big banger day. Tomorrow could be. Tomorrow's the highest probability that we're going to get a big, giant, huge run. One way or the other, I don't know. I'm guessing up. But Friday, if we get a big, giant range tomorrow, do not trade Friday, because it's probably going to eat you. If tomorrow's unemployment claims keeps price away from that high and away from that low, Friday's going to be an absolute banger. So looking forward to one of these 2 days. Tomorrow is just like, that's the hurt you day. So just be careful, you guys, and don't risk too much. Many of my friends are having discipline issues. They're having issues on how to control their risk and a daily loss limit. Because if you just go and take a look at these daily candles, just from this run up, okay, how many days offered a very nice dynamic range and how many didn't? You have to understand that not every day is going to run for you, and that's just the way it works in trading. So permit yourself to take some time off if you need. God bless you. Thank you for joining, and we'll see you tomorrow. Peace.
With